What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all staying safe, staying healthy in this time of crisis with the pandemic going on. It's a crazy and unusual time we live in, isn't it? Today we're going to do a very quick video on the Object 279. We're going to spend just a couple of minutes in the hangar, and then we'll get into some action for you. Now, the Object 279 is proving to be still a very popular event tank. I think part of it is because people like to spade vehicles, and this is not a premium vehicle, so it's not spaded by default. So people are trying to finish those upgrade processes out. But the vehicle itself is actually pretty good. Using it can be a challenge because some of the vehicles you face have extremely powerful weaponry. On the other hand, going up against the Object 279 can be very challenging as well. In part, it depends on the matchmaking and what your teammates are capable of. Now, let's say you're in a full up tier against the Object 279 and something like the American T-32. You're kind of screwed in the sense that you can't just aim anywhere and shoot and kill this thing, because the armor is angled and extremely thick. So if you're in a situation like that, you're still going to want to aim for the turret ring as close to the gunner as you can. Because you can't pen the turret face, you can't really pen the front hull. If you shoot here, you're probably going to bounce and hit the gun barrel, which will often break, but that's only so much useful, Of course, you have the commander's cupola, but more than likely that APHE shell is only going to kill the commander in the back of the tank, and that's again is only so much useful. Ideally, it would kill the ammo, but you know how ammo racks are in this game. Ideally, it'll get the gunner, but in my experience, it just isn't going to happen. So aim for the turret ring as much as possible with almost every vehicle you can. Now, if you do happen to have a vehicle that has high penetration, like something like a APFS DS, aim again for the turret ring, but you can get away with shots a little bit lower. This tank has this little groove here. It goes all the way around. Almost all of this area, if you shoot at it, pardon me, if you shoot up at this thing, you'll probably penetrate it. But really, I would still try to get as close to the turret ring as possible for the most likely penetration. I don't even bother shooting at the front of the turret, as it's just too freaking strong. Side shots are okay, but the front of the turret is really, really strong. Now, if you're using the Object 279, I do recommend applying bushes to the front of the hull. If you don't have bushes, you can get them through the Warbond shop for free. It will take some time, as it requires 2,200 war bonds, plus you have to get 3 of the special tasks complete to get 1 bush, but you can knock these out one at a time. Just have to be patient and grind your way out there. Otherwise, you can buy the bushes with Golden Eagles, but either way, you can get them for free. Now, as far as application of the bushes, I'll show you how I like to do mine. I just have the basic bushes, and I don't have the original 6-pack of really big bushes. What I'd like to do is try to hide as much of this outlined area as I showed as possible. I don't place it on the turret, so place one there. Get this other longer piece, place it like so, maybe there, and get this little bitty bush and tuck him up just a little bit further away and there, and that's pretty much as good as I can make it, because we're trying to hide as much of the turret ring as possible, but also that whole front area that I showed. If you wanted to hide the turret ring, you could move this bush over here and hide it along the side, but still, I think that's a pretty good job of placing bushes on this tank, and that's the kind of placement that I use. Let's get into a little bit of gameplay. Now, I'm in the Chieftain here. This is just a quick couple of clips of me engaging Object 279s just to give you an idea as to how to do it in an actual game, and not just in a hangar. But yeah, this Object 279 on the cap is paying attention to my teammate, and that allows me to sneak up alongside him, shoot him in the side of the turret, disabling his gun breech. It takes him a while to notice that he's been shot in the side. There he does. He turns. He doesn't have any bushes on, so it allows me to take a pretty good and easy shot. I am fairly high, fairly close to the turret ring. I'm a little bit low on this shot, and it bounces. We get a little bit closer to that turret ring, and it punches clean through. Get some ammo. Nice little destruction. The fire effects sure are nice, aren't they? Here's the second and final clip from this battle. I see an Object 279 up on the hill, so we're going to very cautiously peek around the corner. And you'll notice that I shoot the exact same spot. I'm not able to get the front of his tank. I'm able to get the side, but you notice the placement of the shot right into the turret ring. Takes out the ammo. Easy second kill. I would eventually die in that battle. I think I racked up 3 kills, but I got tag teamed by T62 and an Object 120. That's a difficult combination to go up against. So here's the map that I wanted to show you. This is on Jungle. Not a map that you would typically think of that would be very good for this tank. The Object doesn't have particularly good gun depression, and Jungle is not exactly a flat map. But we're still going to head up north, just not all the way north. We're going to head towards what many of you would refer to as the Sniper Hill that is in the middle of the map. And if you've ever played this map, you know exactly the hill I'm talking about. Everyone goes there at all tiers. It doesn't matter if you're in a Panzer IV or a Leopard 2K or something. You know what I mean? Everyone goes there. It's a very powerful spot. But the distinction is that I'm not going to this sniper spot with the intent of getting on top of that sniper spot and shooting into their spawn or what have you. I'm trying to get to the front of that hill so that I can use that to get a little bit of elevation and get the guys in the side of the turret or even in the back of the turret as they leave the Alpha cap and head over towards our Bravo cap. We already have our first opponent. We got here a little bit too fast. The Object wasn't able to get across to the sniper hill quite as quickly as I would have liked, but that's okay. We got our first tank down, and we took virtually no damage whatsoever. Pardon that. My mouse sometimes loses its tracking ability for some reason. Every once in a while it just freaks out. I think I have to clean the sensor. But there are some vehicles, I believe, up on top of this hill, and I do mark them on the mini-map for my teammates so they can watch that area. I have a friendly Object 120 behind me, watching my whereabouts. And we're just going to push on past. I don't see anything here, but I hear something. So I back up and I angle my armor. He pops smoke, Roy Cat, but the Object 120 that's behind me sees him and takes him down. Nobody up on top of the hill is pushing me, so I figured I'll just push out and I'll just use this smoke to my advantage. It's dangerous because you don't know what's on the opposite side of this thing, other than the Roy Cat, a dead Roy Cat. And getting into the water, get another enemy tank, and I get tag teamed by a couple of vehicles over here. Got a Shot Cal and a Conqueror. Shot Cal is side on. He should have popped smoke when his shot bounced. And the Conqueror, well, he's just plain screwed because he is not doing what he should be. He's angling himself, and I will take that side shot any day of the week. I was actually surprised that the Shot Cal didn't use smoke. I mean, it's a premium tank. He has, obviously, access to smoke grenades. I know in a recent video I said that if your gun is operational, you shouldn't use smoke necessarily, but it's something that you have to take into consideration. Every case is different. In this case, he was in a shot kill, side on, shot bounced. There was no way I was going to miss that shot. He had no chance of survival, especially against an APHE shell to the side. That would have been absolutely devastating. I get shot from the side, right here in between the rocks. There's another Roy Cat. I don't know if it was the same guy that... I don't know if it was the same guy that tried to kill me earlier and bounced, or what. But it's entirely possible. I mean, he wouldn't be the first person to respawn in a backup vehicle. Of course, now in the game there are two Roy Cats. You got the Premium 105 and the Tech Tree. I believe it's a 76mm. I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments section if I'm wrong. But yeah. Roy Cats are a fast vehicle. They're also very small, difficult to see. They're a very dangerous little vehicle. As we push up along the bunker, I see two vehicles coming in towards the cap. There's an SBA and another tank. I aim for the SBA just because it's the first thing there. But what I should have done is gone for the tank, because that is the bigger threat. However, it's the same person who was driving the Conqueror, and for some reason he just loves to angle his armor. And this isn't, I don't say this to pick on this guy, but there comes a time where angling your armor is just completely pointless. And this is at that tier where it's kind of pointless. At least against something that's firing APHE. Now this warrior, I heard him, but I thought it was a friendly, to tell you the truth. I thought for sure it was a friendly coming up to join me at the cap. What a dumbass I was. That nearly got me killed. Oh well, we've got the we've got the armor. We've got the teammates to support us. This was a fairly easy victory, to be honest with you. But part of that, actually a lot of that, was due to the speed of the object. It's able to get to a very good, very advantageous spot, and it's got very strong armor. If you can hide your weak spots with your bushes, you're remarkably strong. As far as going up against vehicles that have even better penetrating shells, like the Radkampfs and Leopard A1A1s, I still think the best thing you can do is to be in any position where you're able to see your enemy tanks. And it comes down to often reaction time. So it is speed, in essence. It's just a matter of you and not your tank doing the speed part. I lost my tank earlier in this day to a Leopard 1. Not exactly the most dangerous vehicle on the battlefield at this tier, but just a Leopard 1 took out my gun barrel because I was too slow to react. Came along to my side and shot me 2 or 3 times in the side until I was eventually dead. So once again, speed comes in hand. You know, it's the speed of your tank, it's the speed of your reaction time, it's the speed of your identifying a tank, recalling the weak spots, because there will be some vehicles where you will have to shoot at weak spots. I lucked out on a couple of engagements because the guys were side on. Part of that was because they were, well, noobs maybe, relatively speaking. But that shot Cal, that guy, I don't think that guy was necessarily a noob. He was just caught in a bad position. He was not expecting me to be in that spot on the map already. Almost no one does. I mean, he just got out of his home cap. He was probably on his way towards Bravo, and he doesn't expect the guy to be on his flank already. And that's one of the strengths of using that path on this map on jungle. It just catches everyone with their pants down. Anyway, guys, there's an interesting thought to leave you with. I hope you all enjoyed today's video. If you did, click that thumbs up button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care, guys.